Have you ever stopped to think that your children might be being educated to fail? Not out of malice, not out of lack of love, but because there's an entire system, old, outdated, and silently dangerous, teaching them exactly what they don't need to survive in the real world. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, said something that hits like a punch in the gut. School prepares your kids to be good employees, but never to be free. And he's right. But before we continue, I want to ask you something simple. Go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss any content that could truly impact your financial life and your children's too. Plus, you'll be supporting this movement of real, no fluff financial education that we're building together. Most parents believe they're doing the right thing. They enroll their kids in school, pay for supplies, track report cards, and assume that's enough to guarantee a good future. But the school system, the way it was designed, doesn't prepare for freedom. It prepares for obedience, for following orders, for avoiding risks, for depending on the system. Meanwhile, no one talks about money. No one teaches how credit cards work, how taxes are calculated, what an asset is, how to protect your wealth. And when those kids grow up, the result is brutal. Adults who can pass tests, but can't escape debt. If you're a parent, or if you're ready to break this cycle, this video is for you. Because here, we're going to talk about what no classroom ever taught you, but what can change your family's future forever. Have you ever wondered why school has stayed the same for over a century? It was built during the Industrial Revolution. The world needed factory workers, people who could follow schedules, obey orders, repeat tasks. It didn't need leaders. It needed labor. And that's exactly what schools started producing. People trained to follow, not to create. Kids learn to stand up when the bell rings, to ask for permission to speak, to memorize formulas without knowing why. What looks like discipline is actually conditioning. And even in the 21st century, with AI, globalization, and new careers emerging every day, schools are still producing employees. Everything is standardized: uniforms, tests, grades. Those who think differently are called distracted. Those who question too much are labeled troublemakers. And those who try to start a business, they're told they're wasting their time. Now tell me, how can a child grow up with an ownership mindset if they're trained from day one to obey? How can they learn about financial freedom if money is a forbidden topic? Robert Kiyosaki was one of the first to call this out. He says that even as a child, he noticed the difference between what his biological father said and what his rich dad taught. Poor dad said, "Study to get a good job." Rich dad said, "Study to create jobs." School reinforces the poor dad's mindset. It teaches kids to seek safety, not freedom, to trade time for money, but not how to make money work for them. And the world has changed. Retirement is an illusion. Stability is fragile. A degree is just one piece of the puzzle. But the school system keeps selling the same old dream as if it's the only way out. And so, millions of young people leave school without ever learning what a bill is, how interest works, or what a financial asset even means. They can identify mitochondria, calculate the perimeter of an octagon, sing the national anthem. But they can't build a budget or escape debt. They were trained to pass tests, but they weren't trained to face life. And this isn't the teacher's fault. Most of them are heroes. They work miracles with very little support. The problem is the structure, the system we inherited. A model designed for a world that no longer exists. This system produces young people who are technically literate, but financially illiterate. And what happens next? Smart, well-meaning people, trapped in jobs they hate, drowning in debt, afraid to change, with no clue how to dig themselves out. It's like handing someone a brand new car and hiding the manual. And the worst part? This has become normal. Parents think they're educating their kids just because they're enrolled in school. Governments think they're doing their job by building schools and handing out books. And young people grow up thinking they are the problem for not making it. But it's not their fault. It's the fault of a broken model, frozen in time. School should teach kids to adapt, to think, to create, to choose. But instead, it teaches them to fit in. And whatever doesn't fit gets discarded. Now you understand why so many people work hard their whole lives and still never achieve financial freedom. Because they were trained that way, to trade time for money, to avoid risk, to chase stability without ever understanding how money really works. Through all their childhood, no one talks about budgets, assets, credit, or wealth. You spend 12 years in a classroom and never learn the basics about the one thing that will impact every day of your adult life. Why? Because school was built to produce workers, not investors. If you don't understand money, you'll spend your whole life depending on those who do. The bank, your boss, the government, or your credit card company. And guess what? That's exactly how they like it. People who understand money make decisions. People who don't follow orders. So you end up with young adults getting A's in math, but not knowing what a liability is. Buying cars in 60 monthly payments and thinking it's an investment. Getting trapped in credit card debt and taking loans to pay off other loans. By the time they're 30, they're buried in debt, confused, and stuck. Is that their fault? No, it's the fault of silence, of omission, of a system that pretends to prepare you for life, but avoids teaching the one essential skill, money. And that silence comes at a high cost. It costs freedom. It costs opportunity. It costs mental health. It costs marriages, relationships, confidence, and dreams. Money isn't everything, but the lack of it affects everything. Now imagine if financial education were a priority from an early age. Kids building mini asset jars at age 7. Teens who understand compound interest. Young people who know how to invest, generate income, and start businesses. Impact would be massive. Fewer broken families. Less debt-related depression. More awareness. More freedom. More future. But for that to happen, the change has to start at home. You can't wait for the school system to do this. It wasn't built for that. And while you wait, your kids are already learning. From the internet, from their friends, from life, which means if you don't teach them, the world will. And the world teaches with pain, with interest, with humiliation. Robert Kiyosaki said, "The best gift a parent can give their child isn't a college degree or a car. It's financial education, and it's never too late to start." Even if you've never learned any of this before, you can turn things around now, for yourself, and for those who come after you. Because when you change your mindset, you change your family's destiny. So let's get to the point. Here are 5 practical principles you can start applying today. First, teach the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes it out. A toy they can sell or a bike used for deliveries is an asset. A video game that needs constant spending is a liability. Second, make money a normal topic at home. Talk about budgeting, bills, and planning. Include your kids in simple decisions. How much can we spend? How can we save? How can we grow it? Third, show the power of compound interest. Use jars, games, real-life examples. Show how saving a little each month can become a lot over time. Fourth, encourage entrepreneurship and initiative. Selling lemonade, helping neighbors, creating something small. It all builds ownership mentality. Fifth, lead by example. It's no use saying saving is important if you spend on impulse. Be the example you want your child to learn from. Don't have to do it all at once. Start small. But start, because this shift, done consistently, can transform the future of your entire family. True transformation starts with you. You are the turning point. You're the one who can break the cycle. The one who can show a different way. Robert Kiyosaki said, "Financial education starts in the minds of the parents." If you learn, apply, and lead by example, you change everything. So like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and drop a comment below on what you'd like to learn. In the description, there's exclusive material with practical tools, spreadsheets, and guides to help you apply this inside your home. Teaching financial literacy is an act of love. The greatest one you can give your children, and the best day to start is today.